So, mm, so life has been very different for me lately. Um, I'm like breaking out of the shell of whatever it is that's been holding me back from being my authentic self, my true self, you know? And I just want to be free. And I just want to enjoy life and be happy and show the world love and light and forgiveness. Um, it feels good to just be sitting here and comfortable with just telling, you know, where I am. I'm married with two children. Some things I've accomplished, some things I have not. Some things I've grown spiritually, but I'm also content uh, with the fact that I'm growing. And that used to be so uncomfortable for me. I couldn't stay in my moments. I couldn't think about staying in my moments. I was always like thinking about the future, what happened in the past, or what's gonna happen, what's coming, what's not coming, and I'm just deciding not to be that way anymore. I don't, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to think about that. I just want to be happy in my moment. I want to sing when I want to. I want to rap about whatever I want to. I want to be creative in whichever way that I know how, because I know I'm a very creative person, and I think I could be using that energy that I'm using sitting here thinking about all these past and future stuff, and instead of getting into my moment and actually doing something positive with that moment. So this right here has been becoming my outlet for that moment. I haven't been being my authentic self. I haven't been singing or just letting my hair down because I'm so worried about failure or trying to be perfect or trying to make the right moves or my decisions impacting people around me. All of these things have been, you know, challenges and learning in every way. Just becoming my best self in every way. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. It's a lot of things that I know how to do. I know how to do hair. I know how to make clothes. I know how to do manicures, pedicures. I know how to sing. I know how to rap. I know how to cook. I know how to bake. I know how to do so many different creative things. There's no reason why I'm so stuck in my head about things when there's no need for that. There's no need for that. And I'm coming to that realization after going through so many different things in my life. I got married when I was 25. He had a child from a previous relationship, and that whole ordeal really weighed on our marriage and how we learned about each other and what we truly wanted from each other, and really got a chance to know ourselves growing through the process, plus how to be as a husband and wife during the process. We lost a lot of things in the process of doing it, but I've also gained a lot. I've gained first and foremost my beautiful daughters, and they're just so amazing. I've also gained perspective on who I am and what I will and will not allow, what I want to strive for in life, you know, and seeing how as though there are so many people with these same type of situations where they have a child from a previous relationship and either the dad or the mother can be difficult. This is not all situations, but for a lot of situations, the mother or the father of the child can be difficult because they're hurting within their own life. And so because the mother or the father, who is not primarily with the child, has hurt them, they utilize the child to hurt that individual. And that's just from my perspective. But I also know that, you know, lots of people are hurting. And People who are hurt people. And what I also realize is that a lot of people who are in this world are walking around with mental health issues and they don't even know it. Like they don't even know what mental health issues really look like because we operate every day on this high level of anxiety every day of thinking if I don't go to work I can't pay my bills. I got to go do this. I got to get it done. And I understand that. It's not like I don't understand it because at one point I had to be like that because I was the only one providing for myself. Now it's been a bit different because my husband helps and he provides for me, but I still have to keep my personality and who I am and keep striving for things that I want in life because just getting so wrapped up into just husband, being a wife, catering, trying to cater to your husband and cook and clean and and all the things that people have to do every day. I lost a lot of myself because I stopped striving for things that I wanted because I was so busy trying to make my married life and my life and be a mother. And I realized that that doesn't work. You can't lose yourself in the process of doing all these things. And it's just like even without being even people who are not moms or people who are not um married every day. I know people who are in like school and they have anxiety because they're just like, I don't know what to do. I gotta do this. I gotta fix this. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can't fix any of those. Well, you can't fix any of those outer things, period. That's what I learned. All you can do is fix yourself. All you can do is be your best self. All you can do is become your higher self. All you can do is tap into who you truly are so that way you feel comfortable and great and awesome within who you are that you don't really care about what else is going on. Not that you don't have compassion or love for one another, but when things come to you where people are trying to be hurtful or trying to be spiteful or trying to do things to you that, they shouldn't really be doing to you, or I don't know if it shouldn't, but that you don't like that they're doing. When you have so much trust and love and confidence in yourself, those things don't matter. Those things are not something that you have to think about because that's just their projection. That's just their perspective of who you are. It doesn't mean that's who you are. I've dealt with a lot of, people not really knowing me, so they judge me, or not really knowing me and not really trying to get to know me. But in a lot of ways, that wasn't all on them because I was still in the process of trying to to know myself. So I couldn't expect nobody else to want to get to know me with the energy that I'm in. Is are you trying to get to know yourself? Are you digging deep to see what it is you truly want out of life, or what you truly want this relationship to be for you in your life? And those are questions that I had to answer on my own. Nobody could answer them for me. Nobody could tell me what I truly want or what's in my heart and how I'm really being. Nobody can do that for you. And I for so long I looked for that outside of myself. I looked for people to do certain things for me to make me feel fulfilled, um to enlighten me on certain things, to teach me um excuse me, so many different things. But now, you know, I know better now. And things that people say about me or how they treat me don't define who I am. Shoot, not even the way that I look or, the things that I decide to partake in, they don't define me. These are just certain things that I like to do or certain things that I like for whatever the reason. I know I got so caught up in the material and the outer world and appearance and all that other good stuff, but none of that stuff really matters. So many people walk around here with, you know, the best clothes and the best makeup and all these and the best car and houses, but you know what? They're not walking around with their best self. So you see all these things like, oh yeah, so and so got a new car, so and so got a new house, and you're proud of them. Well, I'm proud of them because those are accomplishments, regardless of whatever it is. But in some ways, I would sit back and be like, what am I doing? What am I accomplishing? You got to start looking to yourself and not looking for external things like, oh, I got to go get this or go get that to obtain this. And that's where my focus was going, because I was so focused on everything outside of me, even my even just a career path, or where I was going, what I was doing, who I was with. All those things were distracting me. Even watching certain shows and TVs, all of those things were distracting me from becoming my higher self, from becoming my true self, from being authentic with myself. And that it didn't help. It just piled on more distraction, more things that I had to like peel away from myself, that I had piled on top of myself, and it was becoming a burden. It was like, for what? Why are you putting these labels on you? Why are you putting yourself in this box that don't exist? Why do you have so much anxiety about certain situations that you cannot fix? And when I started asking myself those questions, I understood that it was because I wasn't working on me. I was trying to work on the other person. I was trying to go have a conversation with them to get to the bottom of the issue that I felt was going on. But getting to the bottom of things is really getting to the bottom of who you are and fixing the things that make you uncomfortable. Because here's the thing: what I've also learned is that when you come into contact with people or places or things that make you feel inadequate, or make you feel frustrated, or make you feel upset, or make you feel down, these are all situations that you can use to become better. Because if you think about it, why is it making you upset? Why is it making you mad? What about this situation is irritating you to the point where you are in your feelings about it? That is obviously something that you need to be dealing with yourself, and not with the other person. See, that other person is reflecting it for you, and you're seeing it because they're a reflection of it. Because things that don't bother you or don't get to you, you ain't worried about that. But there are things that do bother you, that do get to you. And so, why does it get to you? Sometimes it's the need to have control. Sometimes it's the need to have to be right. Excuse me. And you're not always going to be right. And sometimes it's the need to feel like the victim. That happens a lot too. And I've played that position a lot because I felt like people were doing things to me. When in turn, I could have looked at it like, this is all for me. But I was so into my own emotions and my mind space, and all these other things that didn't really matter. I missed the lesson sometimes in certain situations. I missed the whole lesson. I missed it. And so no longer will I miss my moments. I'm not going to miss my moments. And I'm not going to no longer miss, you know, the things that I was harboring and holding on to, that was burdening me, making me feel heavy, making me have a heavy heart. Even in some ways, making me change how I was towards people when I know that's not who I really am. I'm a kind, loving, giving, caring person. And the more I let situations and circumstances and people burden me and make me feel heavy, the less I was of myself. The less I was being Canadian. The less of I was being, who I truly want to be. The happy, trusting, loving, giving. The more people hurt me or did stuff to me or lied to me, whatever the case is, I wore that and was mad, like, oh, this person lied to me. Oh, this person did this to me. Oh, this person did that to me. And you know what? That person was going on with them with their lives. Just like la da 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 da. And I'm over here holding on to all of that. That's why they say forgive that person. The forgiveness is not for them because they're going on with it. They're not losing no sleep over you being all in your emotions. You are. You're burdening yourself because of something they did to you or something. And let me not say what they did to you. Something that they did. And it most likely wasn't even to you. It was more so something that they were going through and they didn't know how to express it. So they lashed out. But because we're so emotional, we take it in and we internalize it. Oh, they did this to me. They said this to me. They did this. And I learned that with my husband's son's mom. She used to say all kinds of stuff about me. And I'm like, why does this girl talk about me like that? And I don't have anything bad to say about her. Besides the experiences that I went through with her work, which weren't the most positive, but it still doesn't even those situations of what I went through with her, it still doesn't um it's still not a how can I say it? It's not who she is. So I still can't say, oh, I dislike her or she's a bad person or whatever in a negative way because I don't know her. I just know some of the situations and circumstances that I have went through and coming into contact with her. That doesn't mean that everything about her is horrible. It doesn't mean that everything about her is evil or however I perceive the situations we have come into contact with. It doesn't mean that that's who she is. It just means that that's what I went through with coming into contact with her in those moments. And those moments don't dictate your whole life. And I learned it. And until she comes to a place in her own life where she is, fully 100% dealing with her own self and her own, I don't want to say issues because I don't, or her own, life issues or life challenges. Until she deals with that stuff on her own, no, she may always lash out at me. And it may not even, and the thing about it is that she doesn't really know who I am either. So I can't really take it too personal for the fact that the things that she's saying because they're only coming from a hurt space. They're only coming from a hurt space. It's not really coming from the fact that she knows me and I've done something personally to her to make her feel that way because I know I haven't. But just being in this type of situation with me and where she stands in the situation, it can make people feel offensive, defensive, uh, uh, insecure in the emotions, all these things that make you sometimes feel less than in those moments. It's not to say that you are less than, it's just to say that you felt less than in that moment. And everybody goes through those moments. Everybody goes through their moments. But it doesn't define who we are, you know? And even with not having a whole bunch in my life, I have what I need. And I learned that from my husband. He's like, hey, as long as you have what you need, everything else will come. Because I was a lot in my head about, oh, I want this. Oh, I need this. Oh, my kids got to have this. Oh, and it wasn't even necessarily like a lot of that stuff, but it was just things that we didn't necessarily need. It was more of a want. But being satisfied with what I have and being grateful for what I have has opened up my heart to understand that yes, you deserve more, but be grateful for what you have. Because at some point, what you have right now, you didn't even have. And you were grateful for what you had. You were grateful for the less that you had, before you got all these blessings. Like when I was single and living by myself, I was grateful to just have my apartment, my little car, a job to pay my bills, come home and drink me a little glass of wine. I was grateful for those moments. Peace and quiet, a sound mind. And yes, I was staying prayed up for an abundance of happiness, health, and wealth and prosperity for my future husband and unborn children. That was my prayer every night. World peace and an abundance of happiness, health, and wealth and prosperity for my future husband and unborn children. So before I even had them, I was praying about having them, but I was grateful for what I already had. And then no sooner than that all happened, you know, it was like it happened in like a speed of light, I'm going to say. That I attained these things. And now again, I'm at another place in my life where I'm growing again. See, that was a growing process. And here I'm growing again. And now I'm seeing I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful to have the husband and now in the children. Now I'm working on world peace. And me doing this and expressing myself and expressing that I went through some things and the hurt I went through, and because a lot of this stuff really hurt me. It really made me feel inadequate. It made me feel, judged. It made me feel like an outsider. It made me feel less loved. It made me feel a lot of things that took a hit, that I took a hit to my ego. But it was okay because me taking those hits to my ego, because your ego is just a false self. It's not really who you truly are. It's just one of the personas you put up when you don't want to let people get down to you and get to your vulnerable, where you're vulnerable at. You know, it took a hit to my ego for you to say certain things about me or to judge me a certain way, or you know, and it's like, and here's the thing, I had to let it go in order for me to grow, in order for me to get to the next point in life where I feel healed and I feel okay, and I don't feel like I am holding myself back because of what people say or think about me. Because my heart is very, I want to be supportive to others. I want to help others. I want to, shine the light for others and give people hope. But I couldn't do that in a hurt space because I couldn't see my potential. I couldn't see that only reason why I was feeling this hurt is because I wasn't tapping into myself. Because if you're really into yourself and you're really confident in who you are and you have self-love, nobody can come in and shake that. Nobody could come in and take that from you. Nobody could come in and make you feel anything because you don't give them the power to make you feel anything. And you see, I was giving away my power. My power was standing firm in who I am and not letting nothing shake me off my stool. And now I understand that. And now I get it. And now I'm just like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me how I want to do me, when I want to do me. And I'm going to strive to be a better me every day because that is all that matters, to be a better me. The only way I can be helpful to others and teach my own daughters how to be them best selves is to be my best self. Be my best self in every way. You know, growing up, I had plenty of people around me, but I still felt alone. I still felt like I didn't have the support that I wanted, but it was because I wasn't really supporting myself. I wanted to sing every day, all day. People told me I couldn't sing or shut up or whatever, and I let that bruise my ego. And I didn't sing in public for a long time. I sang at home and I still improved my craft and I still did it because it made me happy and made me feel good. But the nerves inside of me that I would have and that energy, it would be so bad to where I would feel like I was sick to my stomach because I was so fearful and I couldn't get past the fear. And the crazy part is that I have a beautiful voice. So what exactly was making me feel that way? Myself. I had to get out my own way. I was in my own way. I was stopping myself. And I'm over here blaming other people. Oh, this person did this to me. That's why I don't do this. Or that person did this to me. That's why I don't do this. And this person did this to me. And that's why I feel like this. Girl, you did all that to yourself because you let them people do whatever it is and you accepted it and you agreed to it and you took it in as something that was to you about you when it didn't even have to be that. And that's why I'm not going to let that I'm not going to let that I'm not going to let that, be my story. No. No, thank you. I'm not claiming that. I'm going to claim the abundance of happiness and health and wealth and prosperity and world peace, love and light. And now I'll sing anywhere. I should even just do it on here, right? And tomorrow's never promised. Only yesterday's a guarantee. And if I'm being honest, that's the only thing that carries me. So keep me in your mirror and don't take your eyes off that road. Holding on won't get us any nearer. 'Cause we got a long way to go. Sometimes it's hard to see that some things just won't be. But we ask someone where. And that felt good to do that. I encourage people to just be yourself. Enjoy who you are. Don't let nobody stop you from being yourself. I don't care how you look, what you have, how much money you have. None of that stuff matters. Because you know what? Sometimes the people with the most money and the most material stuff are the most hurt, which is why they try to buy a lot of stuff because it gives them that momentary pleasure of satisfaction. But guess what? It's only momentary. Because once all that stuff is gone, and once you lose all of that, that moment that you was so joyful in when you received those things, that moment is also gone too with the stuff, you know? So don't let nothing hold you back because I'm not letting that hold me back ever again. Nothing, nobody, no place, no thing. Mm-mm, not at all. I'm gonna be me in every way. And if people can't deal with you being you, and if because your light is shining so bright that they can't stand it, that's on them. Because people do get offended when you're your authentic self. People do get offended. And they only get offended because you're reflecting something in them that they are not dealing with. And so you make them feel insecure or inadequate. And that's not your problem. So don't dim down your light because the next person is afraid to shine their own light. Because then here's the thing. How is anything gonna get better if you dim your light for a person whose light is already dim instead of inspiring them to shine their light? Come on now. That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. So no, we won't be doing none of that. I know I'm not doing none of that ever again. in no way, shape, or form with nothing that I do. I don't care what it is. When I make clothes, I make clothes to the best I know how. When I do hair to the best way I know how. When I sing the best way I know how. When I rap the best way I know how. And it don't matter how anybody else has done it because I'm not them and that's not my life path. And I am not gonna do things like anybody else because that's not for me. If it was for me, then that would be in my path. That would be on my line of work. But if it's not, I'm not gonna convert and change myself for society. Because that's what we do. We've converted ourselves from being higher spiritual beings to being low vibrational humans because we're not aware and we need to be more aware. I'm aware and I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the awareness because I can be better because I am aware. I can be so much better. And it feels great to be aware and it feels great to, you know, enjoy the awareness because you feel, I'm not even going to say feel safer. You feel lighter, lighthearted, you feel all those things because you are being your authentic self. So there is no lie or there is no persona or there is no phony that you gotta deal with or come back and fix it because you lied about something or because you weren't being yourself in that moment. So now you gotta fix whatever it is and however you were being because you know that's not your true self. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. I'm not doing that to myself. So don't do it to yourself. I hope this message helps someone. I hope it reaches millions of people who need to hear this because I know that divine timing and divine power will allow this message to touch the hearts of anyone who actually needs it and who is going through such a rough time that they don't just know what to do. It's time to transfer that energy. Let's transmutate that negative energy to positive energy. And that's what testimonies are all about. When people come to church and they got testimonies, those testimonies are that positive and negative charge. You know, you get this negative charge just built up, this ram up because it's just, creating a space of buildup for you to now take it and use it positively. So when someone is like, "Oh man, I was on crack and in the streets and on drugs, and now I own this," and that's transmutation. That's transferring your negative energy to positive energy. That's utilizing your energy force for your higher good. That's utilizing your energy force for your greater good. And it's only going to help you. It's only going to make you feel good because you took your negatives and you were vulnerable enough to show it to the world. And it's a positive thing because you know how many people who are going through this and need this help, need this time, need this talk, need some clarity in their minds to get rid of this. You know how many medical mental disorders they got? Schizophrenia, bipolar, is it ADD, multiple personalities. That's what that movie Split was about. He had multiple personalities, and you know what it built in him? A beast. The last one that he turned into was the beast because he was not being his authentic self. He never transferred or transmutated that negative energy into positive energy. So what ended up happening? It turned into a monster. It turned into a a thing that had no feelings, no remorse, no caring, no love. And that's how people are walking around this world. They have so many built up issues, so many built up hurt, so many built up things, and they're being these, and even when they're hurting, they're acting like they're okay while they're talking to you. And even with some people that you don't even like, some people that hurt you specifically, and you don't even really want to deal with them, but you're faking the funk, and acting like, this is who you want to be with this person, or whatever the case is. You're acting like this is it for you, and it's not. You buying stuff and you doing stuff to put on and to make you feel better, when really you still behind that camera that you took that picture with to show people off whatever you got. You still hurting. You still feel inadequate. You still feeling less than. You still feeling hurt. Don't let that be you. Really deal with who you are. Really be aware of who you are. Love yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Have passion for yourself. Build up your self love. Build up the greatness inside of you. Work on the things that make you happy, even if that's just reading books, collecting coins, walking a dog, loving it, whatever it is you do that makes you 100% happy. Do it. As long as it's not hurting anybody else and trying to make somebody else do something against their, against their will. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy with whatever situation you're in. Be happy with however you look. Be happy. And as you're happy, you'll find the willpower and the wants and the drive to want to get more happiness and be more happy. So you'll do more things that make you happy. That's what I'm learning. Get up 6 o'clock in the morning, go work out. It feels good to get out there and walk up that hill, or go to the gym. And my sweat vest, when I take it up, it's so much sweat on me because I've actually worked out and in my mind is clear, you know, eating lighter foods, and my diet just naturally changing because my body is ready to heal. I don't want no more disease or dis-ease in my body. I just want happiness, health, and wealth and abundance. And because that's what I'm seeking, because that's what my heart is yearning for, that's what's happening for me. Which is why I can even sit here and talk on this camera, and and everything. I just finished making bread and stuff and donuts for the kids for the but still, so what? I'm here. I'm happy. I am, you know, I'm proud of myself to be sitting here telling my story. I'm proud of myself that I have let this burden go of trying not to show people that stuff happened to me too, or that everything ain't peachy keen on this end too. No more. Ugh, no more. I don't even care. I don't care. No, I don't always have my hair and nails done. No, I don't always get my toes done. No, I don't always dress up in the best clothes all the time. Sometimes I just want to throw sweatpants and a t-shirt on and go outside with my kids and play and just be me. And I'm okay with that. I'm good on that because I'm being me. I don't care none of that external stuff is making me whole. Only about how I feel about myself and the things that I love to do, and I do them, is what makes me feel the greatest about myself. And that's all that matters. So I wanted to leave this message of love and light and happiness. And I want everybody to have a good day. Um, and just be your authentic self. Be who you are in every way. All right. Love y'all. Peace.